everybody. Welcome to our February Traveler's Notebook setup. Let's jump right on in. For the month of February, I am using this beautiful blush pink ruffle notebook. And this is a notebook that I have available on my website. And you guys, it's available at a really good price. I was able to secure some of these last month. Well, actually last month. Last month is November because it's December. It is not last month, January, if you were watching this in February. Anyhow, I was able to secure a really good deal on these, and so I'm passing that deal on to you all. Anyhow, it is a beautiful traveler's notebook with the pink, with a little ruffle, and then the pockets are different than we typically work with. So they have these little crosses. So really, if you are putting business cards or credit cards in, you've got a two-fold pocket. But they're also pretty narrow. They're not very deep. So if you are working with one of these this month, and I know a number of you are, then we have to trim our cards because the pockets aren't deep enough for our cards to remain full. Anyhow, I will link to this traveler's notebook in the description of the video in case you're looking at this thinking, oh my gosh, I need to add that to my little stash. It's just a beautiful, beautiful color. All right, so that is the one I am using. We are going to start out. Let's grab our trimmer. So we'll cut everything out first. And for the February kit, we actually have 4 pieces of paper. We have 3 pattern papers and a white, and the white will make sense very shortly. So let's start out with our 3x4 cards. We're going to chop all of those. The collection that we're using here is, hang on, let me make sure. Okay. Every once in a while I cut things differently. I had to make sure it's been a while since I designed this. So I had to make sure I didn't cut anything differently here. All right. So we're cutting all of our cards apart. Like so. The collection that we're using is My Valentine from Simple Stories, and it is part of their Simple Vintage series. And I just thought it was a really fun, sweet, old-fashioned, especially with some of like the vintage Valentines and things. I thought that was really fun. And as we are decorating, I stood pretty clear of having it be too lovey. Like things like Hello, My Love, and very large Be Mine sentiments and Love You Forever and things like that. I steered pretty clear of that to try to keep it a little bit more neutral. But you guys obviously are more than welcome to hit that full on if you like. All right, the white cardstock. The white cardstock we are going to trim to 8 1/4, just like we trim our full sheets, 8 1/4. And speaking of our full sheets, we will now come in and cut those as well to 8 1/4. 8 1/4 again is a little refresher. That is the height of our inserts. So we slip cover those and we want those to be that high. This guy, this one we are not cutting the way that we normally would. We're not cutting that at 8 1/4. If we did that when we went to slip cover, we would lose, we really wouldn't have any of this really pretty artwork here because of the way it is oriented on the paper. We would lose it. But I really, really wanted to use it, you guys. I thought it was so fun. And I have to be honest with you, originally when I, not when I designed it, not when I sat down to design February, but when I purchased all the product for February, my intent was to use this side to slip cover. And as I got this out and saw this, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's just too good. I have to figure out how to use that. So this is a great tip for if you have a piece of paper and you really like the artwork, but the right artwork is not in the right spot for you to slip cover. Then you know what? Slip cover with something plain like white cardstock and then cut your design out and put it on top. So that is what we're going to do. And we want this to be 8 inches by about 4 3/4. Let's try that. Now the 8 inches, I don't necessarily want to just chop it at 8. If I chop it at 8, I'm going to lose quite a bit of this. So I'm going to, actually, you know what? That might be what I did. Let's see here. Looks like I cut about 1 inch off the top first. So let's chop that top off at 11. All right, and then down here, we're going to come in and chop at 8 1/4. All right. Now, oh yeah, not 8 1/4. Sorry, I said 8. There we go, because I want to see a little bit of that white background. I'm going to come in and just a tad bit more, maybe like 1/8 of an inch. There we go. All right, so I said we needed that to be, actually, let me measure that for you. That will now be, oh my gosh, like 1 shy. It's like 7 15/16, just a tad. And then I want that to be not 5. Let's make it about, that works. So that is about a little bit more than 5 1/2. I mean, excuse me, a little bit more than 4 1/2. So let's in the video, I will add the measurement when I start to cut this. I'll add the measurement, and so you will you'll have that. You'll see that on top of the video. All right, so it ends up being about 4 1/2 by, oh, not long enough. Anyhow, I'll measure that, and then you'll know what it is. All righty, so everything is cut. Let's move this off to the side, and let's grab our inserts. So I have taken my inserts from last month. Let's start out with this. Oh my gosh, you guys, here I go again. Let's decorate the pockets first. I don't know why I want to keep jumping to the inserts right there. Probably because we just cut them, the papers for the inserts. Okay, it's still in the mad rush of pre-Christmas, you guys. My mind is still in the mad rush of pre-Christmas. All righty, so let's take the cards that we want. And before I start really doing much with these, I want that one, the It Was Always You. I'm looking at what I have here to see what I've done. That one, I want this one. I used quite a few of these. I don't want the blues, because the blues weren't really, I wasn't really feeling the blue. I need this guy. You guys see what I'm lining up there? Yeah, okay, good. I need this guy. Put that right there, because it's going to go on one of our, on the second insert. And well, you know what? I have most of them. We'll just set those off to the side. Okay, so let's start decorating. Now, for those of you that are using this Traveler's Notebook cover, I want to show you what I did. That is cut in half. Well, it's not even half. Well, it's probably half. Cut in half because it just tucks right in there. This card is also cut in half. I used part of it here and also used part of it down here. Even if you are using a Traveler's Notebook that has full pockets, you should still be able to cut this card so you can use part in one pocket and part in another. So here you can just see I've used a tiny little bit. So if you were just cutting off maybe the bottom third, then that would still work. And I've done the same thing with this guy. This guy right here is actually, I really liked the bottom part of this card, the Hello My Love card. So I used the bottom part, but then also used the top part. So I really started playing around cutting different cards just to, you know, have them work in my pockets. But that is a really good tip because a lot of your cards, regardless of what type of traveler's notebook that you're using, you're tucking a good portion of it into the pocket and you're losing it. So since we are using our a little bit of adhesive, whether it be temporary or permanent, well, permanent, temporary, we don't necessarily need all of that card to go all the way in the pocket. Does that make sense? I think it does. All right, so let's go ahead and get out our black pen. And I need part of this guy. And here I'm just going to do the top. I need part of this guy, but I'm actually going to do the whole thing because I will end up using both parts of the card when I cut it. And then we'll do the same thing with this guy. And then I'll have to end up actually coming back in again because I'll need part of that. I don't need to do that guy. Did I use that one? I did, just as a little bit of a peeker. So right there. And what is that one? Oh, where? Haha. Remember when I said I wasn't going to use the light blue? I actually do. And I'm just using this little part. So we end up cutting that. So I'm going to outline and then I'm going to cut, and I'm just going to cut with my scissors. I probably need, oh, I went too far, but I probably need that to be about 3 instead of 4. So I'm going to cut off about 1 inch. There we go. Okay. All right. I think that is what I need to get started filling the pockets. So my scissors again, cut that about in half. And I'm not using the rest of that. So I'm going to put that in my little garbage. This little guy, I'm also going to cut about in half. It looks like I cut it about right above that little light blue row of hearts. So this guy will go tuck in right here. And then these two I'm cutting in half, but I'm using the bottom as the top and the top as the bottom. Oh, actually, I go way down. I need to go about right there because I don't want any of that love showing. We are not having any love there. Okay, so then this little part is going to tuck right in here. And this little guy kind of sits right in there. Okay, this guy I only need part of. Cut him in half. I think I've mentioned before, I don't know why I say, I give these guys like identities. Him, or cutting him in half. I don't know why. What did I just do with that? The light blue one that I said I wasn't going to cut, then I cut. Where did it go? Oh, there we go. That one goes right. Oh, yeah, too long. So we need to really chop that guy and tuck it kind of right there. I need to put those away because you see what happens when I can't find things. All right. Oh, the next one. The next one, I am using this really kind of cute pattern on the back, not the front at all. So this guy we will trim down, and I also need to outline him. Make sure we're good. Okay, I still have enough storage. I have been holding off getting a new phone. It just, you really have to, when you do that, make sure that you have time to figure it out, figure your new phone out, because I cannot, I know that sounds horrible. I cannot be without a phone. And it's not that it's because I need to talk. It's because that, a lot of my business is social media and posting and things like that and taking photos. And if I don't have a phone, I kind of am stopped dead in my tracks. All right, so let's talk about this. Now, this is kind of a funny little behind the scenes story. This is a window pocket, right? Window pocket means I can take something and put it in there and see through, right? Yes, that makes sense. Well, when I first started working with this one, I couldn't get the pocket to open. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so weird. Why would there be like this clear plastic thing if the pocket doesn't open? And I really tried and I could not get it to open. So it was over Thanksgiving, I think. And after that weekend, I contacted my sales rep and said, hey, I'm a little confused. How do you get in the pocket? She's like, oh, just right through the top. And I'm like, yeah, no. And she said, maybe go grab another one. So I grabbed another one out of my inventory. And no problem, opened right up. Somehow it was kind of glued a little bit shut. So some of the glue, some of the adhesive had kind of shut it. So anyway, I was able to just kind of pry apart. That is why there is nothing in here. Everything's on the top. So if you'd like to put things in the pocket, you can. But if you're wondering, that's why everything is on the top of the pocket, because I couldn't get into the pocket. Alrighty, we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting again, this card, because I really liked this flower. So I kept a little bit of the green, a little bit of the greenery. Again, fussy cutting, stupid fussy cutting. In my book, it would be stupid if I was trying to completely get in tight and not have any of that pink showing. That's just too hard. And I like that little border anyhow. So that's what I'm doing. And we'll just kind of go like that. This always reminds me, you guys, of Bob Ross. If you do not know who Bob Ross is, he is the painter that's the big hair, big, like Afro type hair, that paints sceneries. And he was super popular back in, I want to say maybe the 70s. And he's passed, but he has made a resurgence. He's very popular with the younger crowd, like boys my son's age, girls teenagers, young adults. And they have t-shirts with them and bobbleheads and socks and all different kinds of things. But it always reminds me of Bob Ross when I'm talking to you guys on video, because I'm talking about fussy cutting and I get very kind of soft and sing-songy, just like he does. He's amazing, by the way, if you've ever watched him. He, a little bit of paint here, a little bit of paint here. Oh, it's so easy, just dab. And the next thing you know, it's this amazing snowscape with trees. And you're like, holy cow, how in the world did you get that? Okay, so we are using, I know what I did. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the right sticker. It is. So we are using this loved sticker, and it is going kind of right here at an angle. That flower, I'm going to add a little bit of extra adhesive, and it's going to go right over here. I tucked it in the pocket a little bit. And then we are going to take this little sticker down here that says XOXO, and it will go right here. This little Be Mine. It's pretty subtle, so I thought it could go Be Mine. Now here, this loved, there was something about it that really bothered me. And the font, to me, didn't really kind of go with everything else, didn't go with the look of everything else. So I took this little sticker that says loved, and I just put it right over the top of that loved, and it fits very well. And then there you go. So If you think you don't have the correct sticker, you do. You just add a sticker over it. All right, Adore You. That one is going to go right here. We still there? Oh, you can see my hair. Okay, we're still recording. Normally, I can poke my head in and see, but I must have put my camera in upside down, my phone in upside down, because usually I can see it on that end, and now it's on this end, so I really have to get under it to look. All righty, let's see what else we have. Okay, so we have this rose sticker and this little rose sticker. And they are going right here and right there. All right, one more, oh, two more stickers before, excuse me, before we, well, actually more than two, but two more at this point. This little guy is going in right here. And this little guy, who is really a little guy, or I guess it could be a girl, you never know. He looks like a boy. He looks like he's dressed as a boy, but absolutely girls in overalls for sure. And you know what? It looks like makeup. And that's kind of the artwork back then. All the little boys or girls always had little nice rosy cheeks. And yeah. All right. So we are now going to add some hearts. And we are using these two layered kind of enamel hearts as the base. So here's our pink one. And that goes so well with this traveler's notebook I'm using. It's crazy. Looks like they were meant to go together. And the red one's going to go right there. So I need two light pink hearts to go with this guy. One there and one about right there. And then two of the reds. So red, and let's do that one, red. Red goes right here, and another one right up here. All right, so that is the inside of our pockets. And this, I want it to be a little bit higher, so just move that up a little tad because there was a little bit too much space in there for me. All right, there we go. Now, to decorate right there, I am going to grab this piece. So we forgot to cut that before. That piece needs to be about 8 inches, but I'm going to show you another thing that you could do. I'm going to come back to January, and I'm going to grab this little piece. And if I tuck this all the way in, like all the way, then I could use those cute little pom-poms again. I didn't even have to change out that paper because I tucked it all the way into the kit or into the pocket. So I think that's super cute and I like that, and I am going to leave it the way that it is. All right, now we are going to, now usually what I would do is I would then take out my tape runner and just kind of tack those little things down because I don't want them to move. So you probably want to go ahead and do that. All right, let's now move to our, move these little guys out of the way, clean up my mess, put some of my things away. Boy, you guys, if I did this between projects in the real world, it would make a world of difference, wouldn't it? If we cleaned up after right after we did something. Okay, so I need these little inserts, or excuse me, these papers that I've cut, my little slip covers. And we're going to start out with the white. We're going to fold this in half. Now on this one, make sure you fold the outside in. Did you guys get that? If you watched the January video when I was talking about folding outside in and then unfolding so you didn't get the, you know, whatever. Well, the outside in is the same as the inside out. When I teach, I make jokes a lot when I teach in person. And a lot of times I make very silly jokes like that to see if people are still paying attention. And sometimes people are like, wait a minute, what? And then we laugh. And other times people are like, okay, all right. And then I know they're not paying attention because that wouldn't make any sense. So making sure that you guys are paying attention. Okay, here we go. So you can do this. I mean, I'm using white just because white works really well with what we're going to put on it. But you can do this with, really any kind of cardstock, any color. If you, if you wanted to save some of your patterns to be able to do more with, then, you guys, you always know when I'm putting those together in the videos, I'm going too fast. So I've got a little bit of brown sticking out of the top of that. No worries. You guys, we're all good. All right, so isn't that going to be so fun? Now, what I really like about this design, it has so much going on. I mean, it really looks like that your kit had lots of things in it. It had doilies, but they were like old-fashioned doilies that were a little bit aged, and then old books that were aged, and then some that would be called suede. Some suede cording and a ticket and other tickets and a pink doily. It just looked like so much is going on here, and there was so much that you were doing layering in your kit. Now, there's that's fun. That's really fun to do. But when you are working with a traveler's notebook, generally we cannot have all those different layers, because then when we're opening our inserts and writing on them, it makes it very difficult. So anytime we can work with something like that that already has all that art on it for us, I just love it. So that was easy, you guys, easy peasy. But doesn't it look like you put, actually I'm going to leave that out for right now because we're going to, when we're done, do the month, the calendar. All right. But it just makes it look like, oh gosh, that we're so talented. We are talented. We just don't need to show it all the time, right? All right, next one. I'm just taking one of my inserts that I have pulled out of one of my past traveler's notebooks. It was out of November, December. And we will slip cover that one as well. And as I'm doing this, I will talk about that for those of you that are new and haven't heard my story about the slip covering. Oh my gosh, it's probably been, I think it's been 3 years ago now, when I first started slip covering my inserts. It was actually December, and I wanted to really decorate my traveler's notebook for Christmas. And so I did all kinds of things to the pockets, and when it came to the insert, I glued paper to the front of my insert, which was awesome because it was cute. Until January rolled around and I went, uh-oh, I now have Christmas paper glued to the front of my insert, and it is no longer Christmas. And I don't want it to be Christmas in my traveler's notebook anymore. I want it to be January. So a lot of times we are not filling up our complete insert after a month. And so we are moving an insert from month to month to month. And if you are decorating your traveler's notebook, like we do with the Layle by Mail kits every month, you want to switch those things up. So I started thinking to myself, gosh, what could I do to be able to decorate my inserts every month, but have it be temporary? And then it hit me. And I instantly was transported back to my second grade self, let's say second grade, when way back in the day, when I was in grade school and middle school and high school, we used to have to cover our textbooks, right, to protect them. And how did we cover our textbooks? Grocery store bag, right? This was long before there were any plastic bags. When you went to the store, they didn't say paper or plastic. They just said paper, you got paper. But they were great for slip covering our textbooks. So that was how I came up with that idea. And ever since, I have loved that, because it just, it's fun. and it lets you switch things out by month if you'd like, or season, or design, or what have you. All right, so I have slip covered that, I've outlined, and now I'm taking my red doily and we're going to put that right there. I am using this card, so we will put that. Oh, okay, I think we're good. There's my head again. We're low on battery. We're getting close. I had a full battery when I started the videos, you guys. It sucks so much power and so much storage, but they're so fun. Then I'm not talking to myself. I talk to myself when I work every day. But when you guys are here with me, I'm really not, because you're here. All right, so let's finish up this insert. I am taking this little guy that says "So Sweet," and I'm actually covering up that Dear Valentine. I know. That's all right. And then this little heart will go right here at the bottom. And then Totally Sweet. I'm not using any of those other guys, so if you want to pick something different, you certainly can. Well, you guys know that. If you want to do it, some of you do something completely different than I do, which I love. You need to be inspired to do. You do you. All right, we're doing Adore You, My Heart, and Sweetest. And we're just picking those because I liked the colors. So, whoops, Sweetest is going to go right there. And then right above that, oh, I should have probably, well, we're good. Don't put them in too tight yet. And then My Heart, and then above that is Adore You. Okay, those cute little tickets. All right, last thing. This little strip of gems, it is actually one strip. So I can remove that all in one piece. And that just goes right here. And I actually tucked it a little bit under the So Sweet. Just a tad. And voila, our second insert. Okay, I'm now going to come back to my first insert right here. And this is when we're going to do kind of a live plan with me. And we are going to decorate, for those of you that have the monthly inserts, the monthly calendar inserts, we are going to decorate, what's in there? Oh, I've got a little bit of a, all right, let me fix this. It's just because it's a cardstock sticker, it is just buckling a little bit when it folds. So we'll just separate that right there. It's a thicker sticker. Okay, here we go to February. So let's see what we have here. We're going to start out with looking at my product strips that I have. That guy for sure, because it's really cute. And I'm going to do part of this. Just cut that off like that. And I'm going to actually, let's see how this would work. Oh my gosh, I'm all thumbs. I'm all fingers. All right, so I'm going to just trim part. Ooh, I know what we're going to do. Okay, fussy cutting scissors. I am going to come right in here, and so it will kind of look like it's lace. When I scrapbook or craft or traveler's notebook or when I'm crafty, whatever it is, I listen to music. I listen to music most of the day. I don't have the TV on very often. I like music. And so it's very odd to me when I am working like here when I'm fussy cutting. That's why I find something to talk about when I'm with you guys, because it's very odd to me to be sitting here and not have music and just kind of have silence. So we're tear both of those ends and come in here and let's add our adhesive, and we'll put that guy about, I think, right there. And I'm gonna, before I put that down, I'm actually going to cut it just because it will make it a lot easier, especially as we continue throughout the year. If you are doing this, it'll make it a lot easier because it's going to get pretty bulky. Now, I know you guys are going to like, wait a minute, I just covered up a bunch of February. I don't know, because I don't have a calendar in front of me, when the last week of February is. If it ends up in here as 28 and these are extra. So I'll just caveat that. I use this more as a little bit decorative, a little bit of fun. And I just put things like birthdays and anniversaries and maybe vacations or travel in here. Not so much the things that I would do, because like my to-do list. Because you know what, that little box, those little boxes are way too small to really write much in. That's why I end up really using just the lined inserts, and that's something that I offer on my website. Just the lined inserts. I've used the weeklies in the past. I've used the dailies in the past, but the lined inserts really work well for me, because then I just write down what I need to do and cross it off when I'm done with it. Okay, let's see what else. Here, I would probably figure out, let me see if I can get a calendar on my iWatch. Let's see. How do I do that? Oh, I know. Hey Siri, what day is February 14th? Friday, February 14th. Oh, you guys are going to laugh at me. Watch this. Hey Siri, what day is February 1st? Kind of need to know that. February 1st is on a Saturday. 1/14. Okay. So guess what? That's 28. So my life better be pretty boring that last week of February. All right. 14. So probably what I would do is 14. I'm going to add Valentine right there. Now I would come in later and I would I always do pencil first and write all my days and then come back and go over it with the pen. And that is because I have learned the hard way. If I don't do that, I'll make a mistake. Now, you know what? I'm going to get rid of this part. And I'm going to come right back here. And I'm going to use this because I have that border sticker. I might as well use it. It's so fun. And you know what? If I had done that before, I might not have done that little fussy cutting thing, but that's okay. It's still cute. I think it's just also a fun way to look at something different. Sometimes we look at a piece of paper for what it is and not for what we could make it. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's see what else. Sweetie, that's cute. Let's do Sweetie up here. Because I have lots of room to play around in right here, right? Because the first. Let Love Rule could come in over here. I can also put that in between days. I don't have to just put it in certain boxes. Oh, this is cute. I'm going to move that a little bit, and we're going to put that right there. Oh, look at that, almost fits like perfectly in there. Okay, a couple hearts. I've got a few left. So let's put this one right here. We'll put another heart maybe right there. And that's okay. I know, and this is why I come in with the pencil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I know that's 5. And then usually what I do, I'd go, oh, this one would be 6, because I would forget, but it won't be 6. This one would actually be 7. Then I come in with my pen, and then I don't make a mistake. Hopefully, right? You never know, though. That could go there. No, I don't like that. Good thing I didn't put that down all the way. But it very much a trial and error. Put things down, move them around, see what you like. there. Let's do, how about, oh, 100% lovable. Yes, we are all 100% lovable, aren't we? Except not in February, because I want a different color. How about forever? Forever until we turn the page and then it's March. Yeah, no, I'm not feeling that one either. You know what I'm going to do? I want something short. So I'm going to take 100% lovable, and I'm going to cut off that end, and I'm going to cut off that end, and we're going to end up with lovable, and lovable is going right there over notes. And you know what? I think I am going to call that good. So that is February. We had a lot of fun playing. I encourage you to have fun, as always, you guys. Have fun with your setup. If you'd like to try something different than I did, absolutely knock yourself out and do that. And until I see you again in March, which will really be like early February, but we'll think it's March, and then that's just kind of how it works. Until I see you guys again, or see you, until you hear me again, take care, and happy days. Bye-bye.